The mountain lake. All aboard! In this top module, I cut that lake inside there, and I just rough cut something in here. Then I took my steel brush and I went in and I just kind of cleaned it up and leveled it all up and cleaned it all out. Make sure I got a good lake surface down in here, and it'll run off into this creek and into this creek. Left some big boulders in here. You really can't see them with this color. It's not really showing up that well. Then you can see where I put all these things together. What I did was I just stuffed all of the gaps with styrofoam. I just stuffed every gap that I can find. Oh, there's one there I could still stuff a little bit. I just stuffed a little styrofoam in here now. It's time to get the Sculptamold and mold this lake bottom in here. So let's try one load of Sculptamold and see how far I can get. Got me a little Sculptamold going. Mix her up really good. Make sure on the dry spots. Get in a hurry and ended up having a couple of dry spots, but I had to go back and add a little water. Don't like it much. Here we go. Shouldn't be too tough. Mold the bottom in. Makes you wanna board that train and ride. I guess I was born to be a rambler. This ought to help seal it for when I put the epoxy in also. Can't hear that lonesome whistle blowing. Makes you wanna board that train and ride. When I was a little bitty baby, Lord, it's been so many years ago. I remember always being restless every time I'd hear that whistle blow. Listen to that rumble in the valley, she'll soon be coming down the mountainside. Can't you hear that lonesome whistle blowing? Makes you wanna board that train and ride. That old train whistle makes me want to wonder, like a leaf that's blowing in the wind. I don't care if the sun don't shine tomorrow, as long as I can ride that train again. Listen to that rumble in the valley. All I'm gonna do is just once I got that in, I'll just make sure it's not lumped up anywhere and press it in there and smooth it out just a little bit. Let it dry. Make sure I got nothing that doesn't look too terrible. I'm going to hit it with a razor knife here in a minute just to put some rough marks into it so it doesn't look so smooth. But just kind of blending this Sculptamold in and kind of feeling that this smoothing process here, it helps stick it down and get it down into the cracks, but it makes it a little too smooth. But if you do too big an area like I think I just about did, you can't cover it all. You're gonna be able to get to it. Just, I guess I say do littler areas, but you know, I didn't do that myself. I just had a bunch of sculpts on to get rid of it, so. And didn't end up doing my canyon here, but that's all right. I'll get to it. Okay. This top is sealed in. I'm gonna do my canyon here. I'll do some cracks here. A couple cracks here. A big old crack up in there. And a crack here. Make me another load. I just found another way that I can, it's a little quicker. I just take my fingernail and I start shaping it with my fingernail. And you know what? It's faster than that razor blade, and it roughs it up and just makes it not so smooth. And you can kind of manipulate it a little bit, you know, it looks rougher. So, like this area here is a little smooth looking. I'll just dig into it. And now it looks like that. Looks a lot better. This gets the smooth off from it. As long as your fingernail will hold up. All I do is make it look random. There's another smooth area there. Just gouge it up, and as long as that seam was covered, that was the only purpose for that stuff anyway. Okay, I think you get the idea. That seemed to work all right. There's another one right here. And you can, yeah, that actually works a whole lot better. Makes it a little bit more of a mess on your hands, but that stuff washes right out, so. Okay, by far, I found that this, going back in when this stuff is just getting tacked up where you can manipulate it, is the best thing to do. It is the messiest, but boy, you can scrape some of this off and blend it much better in. You can take all this extra off that looks kind of smooth, that rocks ain't that smooth. But you know, it leaves a lot of little pieces in here, so maybe they'll look like rocks. Okay, here she is. I think she looks pretty. That bug's good. I'm not gonna walk around it. I'm just gonna move it around. Nice and light. Everything looks good. The canyons all look good. And I tell you what, you know, one thing I relearned again was, as you're doing this, you don't have to do exactly like everybody else does it, and you don't have to do it like I do it, but once you get into it, you're gonna find that you find different things that work better for you. And this fingernail thing actually worked really good. I'm still tweaking on it a little bit here and there when I see something that just doesn't look natural, you know? But once it gets hard, you're not gonna be doing that. You'll be using a razor knife or a scraper or something. But in this, at this point right here, it worked good. I think that worked good. Lesson learned was the farther along you get, the better you get at it. I think it looks looking good. Let her dry up. Okay, using my little blow dryer here, I just about got this whole thing back to a big solid chunk of foam now. Looking really good. I think I like it. Also helps dry up this Sculptamold a little bit. I'll give you a close-up. Okay, yeah, see, it just kind of hardens it back up. And this looks pretty good. I like it. I'll go ahead and clean up now. Clean up some of this loose stuff. Let it dry some more. Get a little brush or something after it and Get some of that loose stuff out of here. Looks like that would work. Just get all my little loose pieces of crud out, although those may make some nice little rocks. I think we're gonna go with that. Okay, mixing me up a big batch of this stuff. What I'm gonna do is just fill in the backside. What I do is just fill in the backside of this foam just to give it a little more strength. This is not going to matter a whole bunch. It's just going to stiffen it up and make all my, if you could see any holes through there, you would not. When you get done, you won't. Okay, let me play with this. I got a big batch. It's going to go bad quick. I got the back side of it just done up where it's going to be solid. Really, it just only has a structural part. That's all it is. I just want it to be nice and solid on there. Nice and solid. Once it gets hard. Okay, that's all my mess for today.